there, students, welcome back to another video lesson. So during the first week of our video lesson for quarter 3, so na-discuss po sa inyo yung mga basic concepts, so yung undefined terms on geometry, so which are point, line, and plane, as well as yung subsets ng line, and then yung classifications of angles. So for this week, so we will now be discussing the relationship among pairs of angles. So pares ng angles po ang ating mga i-discuss. So let us have the lesson objectives. So we will define and illustrate the following pairs of angles. So ito po yung mga different kinds of pairs of angles. So we have adjacent angles, complementary angles, supplementary angles, linear pair, and vertical angles. So after natin i-discuss yung mga pairs of angles na yan, we will apply them through computation. So we will determine the measure of the angles marked with letters. So syempre hindi sapat lang na alam nyo yung concepts. So alam nating illustrate yung mga pairs of angles na yan. So syempre mas maganda kung na-apply natin sila. So ma-apply dyan syempre of course yung napag-aralan nyo sa algebra. So makikita nyo dyan yung mga variables, like for example variable x. So let us have pairs of angles. So angle pairs are sometimes classified not by their measures, but their positions relative to each other. Okay, they are called angle pairs because they always appear as two angles working together to display geometrical property. Okay, so usually yung mga angle pairs na yan, magkatabi sila. Okay, so hindi sila napaglalayo. Okay, so yung mga types of pairs of angles na i-discuss ko, makikita nyo kung paano ba sila nagkakaiba-iba. So, pairs of angles include adjacent angles, complementary angles, supplementary angles, linear pair, and vertical angles. So, meron po tayong 5 pairs of angles. So, iisa-isahin po natin yan, i-define po natin, and then as well as illustrate po natin. So, first on the list, adjacent angles or adjacent angles. So, adjacent angles are two angles in a plane which have a common vertex and a common side but no common interior points. Okay, so kapag sinabi nating adjacent angles, so magkatabi po yan. Meron po silang common vertex and then meron din po silang common side. So, let us have an illustration. So, ayan. Makikita nyo po dyan yung ating illustration. So, pakita natin yung adjacent angles. So, let us have the first pair. Like, for example, angle EAR. So, yan po yung isang angle natin. EAR, ito. And then, and angle RAT. Okay, so ito po yung angle RAT. So, bakit tinawag natin silang adjacent angles? Okay, so meron po kasi silang common vertex. So, yung common vertex po nila is point A. Okay, as you can see, ayan, sa ear, tsaka rat, yung nasa gitna, yun po yung common yun po yung tinatawag na vertex ng angle. So, yung vertex po ng angle ay naka gitna po, of course. And then, yung common side naman nila is AR. Okay, so, common side nila is AR. So, ray AR. So, kung adjacent angle sila, so, like for example, angle EAR again, and angle TAH. So, ano yung kanilang common vertex? Common vertex po nila is point A. Common vertex. And then, yung kanila namang common side, So, EAR tsaka TAH. Yung common side po nila is ray 80. So, yan po yung adjacent angles. Next naman, we have complementary angles. Complementary angles are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Two angles are said to be complementary if they are adjacent and forms a right angle. Okay. So, kapag meron tayong isang pares ng angles and then adjacent sila, kailangan yung sum nila is 90 degrees. O exactly 90 degrees. Kapag hindi po 90 degrees, hindi po yun considered as complementary. And then, kapag ang sum nila is 90 degrees, and then hindi naman sila adjacent, hindi rin po yun complementary angles. And then, ang pinaka-clue natin para maging complementary angles sa yon is adjacent sila and at the same time, nagpo-form po sila ng right angle. So, we all know that a right angle is an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees. So, exacto pong 90 degrees. Para siyang letter L. Okay, so let us have an illustration. So, ayan. So, pangalanan natin yung mga pares ng angles na complementary. So, angle PQR. So, ito po yun. PQR. And angle RQS are complementary angles. What else? So, kung makikita nyo po dyan, meron po tayong ginamit na number, 1 and 2. So, pwede rin po natin isulat as angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary angles. So, meron po kasing mga given na wala pong letters. So, ginagamit po numbers. So, paano natin ipapakita na complementary angles sila? So, na yung sum is 90 degrees. Ganito lang po. The measure of angle PQR. So, by the way, yung small m po dyan, yung lowercase letter na m, indicates measure. So, ibig sabihin na m, measure. So, the measure of angle PQR plus the measure of RQS. So, angle RQS is equal to 90 degrees. And then, using the numbers, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees. So, kailangan, again, kapag pinag-add po natin yung sum ng dalawang angles na yon, kailangan po 90 degrees para maging complementary sila. So, kung meron po tayong complementary angles, meron din po naman po tayong supplementary angles. So, anong pinagkaiba ng supplementary angles sa complementary angles? So, ang pinagkaiba lang po dito, so yung two angles po, kailangan ang sum po nila is 180 degrees. And then at the same time, kailangan adjacent sila, magkadikit. So, ang pinagkaiba po, yung sum nila. Pero yung pinagkatulad po, pareho po silang adjacent. So, ito po ang itsura ng supplementary angles. So, ayan. So, since yung straight angle, ang sum po niya, or ang sukat niya is exactly 180 degrees, magiging ganun ang itsura ng supplementary angles. Okay, so, ayan. Naka-form po siya ng straight angle. Ayan, yung nasa ibaba. Ayan, LOE. So, pangalanan natin yung supplementary angles. So, we have angle VOL and angle VOE are what? Supplementary angles. So, what else? Again, may mga numbers naman po ulit silang ginamit dyan. So, angle 1 and angle 2 are what? Supplementary angles. So, madali lang naman tandaan ang complementary saka supplementary. Complementary angles, 90 degrees ang sum. Supplementary angles, 180 degrees. So, sulat natin kung paano natin papakita yung sum na 180 degrees. So, una, the measure of angle VOL plus the measure of angle VOE equals 180 degrees. Hindi po 90 degrees. Next, yung angle naman, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees. So, ayan po yung tamang way para ipakita po yung mathematical statement ng supplementary angles. So, let us have linear pair naman. So, linear pairs are formed when two angles are both adjacent and supplementary. So, napo-form lang yung linear pair kapag yung dalawang angles ay magkatabi, magkadikit. And then at the same time, supplementary. So, yung sum ng dalawang angles na yun is 180 degrees. Ayan, like for example, angle AET and angle AEM are linear pair. So because adjacent sila, at the same time, supplementary. Kasi yung sum nga nila is 180 degrees. Or pwede rin namang angle 1 and angle 2 are linear pair. Next, vertical angles. So, paano na po form yung vertical angles? So, vertical angles are formed when two lines intersect each other. So, two intersecting lines form two pairs of vertical angles. So, mapo-form lang po yung vertical angles kapag yung dalawang lines ay nag-intersect. So, let us have an illustration. So, ayan. Meron po tayo dyang line. So, pangalanan natin yung line. Like, for example, ito. Ayan, A. Ito naman, B. So, line A and line B are the two intersecting lines. And then, kapag nag-intersect yung dalawang lines, so makaka-form po sila ng dalawang pares ng vertical angles. So, let us identify two pairs of vertical angles. So, yung unang pair po natin is angle 1 and angle 3. Ayan. So, ito po sila. Angle 1 and angle 3. Magkabilaan po sila. And then, what else? Angle 2 and angle 4. So, angle 4 and angle 2 are vertical angles. So, kapag vertical angles po, ang pinag-uusapan natin, yung sukat po nila ay parehong-pareho. Like for example, kung ang sukat ng angle 1 ay 50 degrees, ang sukat po ng angle 3 is also 50 degrees. And then, angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary naman. Hindi sila pwedeng maging vertical angles. So, let us have an activity. Determine the measure of the angles marked with letters. So, since na-discuss ko na po sa inyo kung ano yung pagkakaiba ng mga pairs of angles na yan, so, i-apply naman po natin sila. So, first example, ayan, yung M tsaka N. So, yung ating figure number 1 ay example po ng complementary angles. Okay. So, paano yan? The measure of angle M plus the measure of angle N is equal to 90 degrees. Kasi nga, complementary angles sila. So, ang given po na sukat po dito is yung sukat ng angle N, which is 62 degrees. So, isa-substitute lang po natin yung sukat ng angle N dun sa measure of angle N, of course. So, measure of angle M, ito yung unknown. measure, plus yung sukat ng angle N is 62 degrees, equals 90 degrees. And then, i-apply natin dito yung addition property of equality. Wherein, isa-subtract natin or mag-a-add tayo ng negative 62 to both sides para matanggal po yung 62 degrees na nasa left side. So, magiging ganito lang siya. Measure of angle M is equal to 90 degrees minus 62 degrees. So, measure of angle M now is 28 degrees. So, 90 minus 62 degrees is 28 degrees. Now, to check. So, balik tayo sa pinakauna natin. So, measure of angle M plus measure of angle N is equal to 90 degrees. So, the measure of angle M is 28 degrees. Yan po yung nakuha natin. Plus, the given measure of angle N is 62 degrees. So, 28 degrees plus 62 degrees, that is 90 degrees equals 90 degrees. So, you can see, we can therefore conclude that angle M and angle N are complementary. So, for number 2 problem, so measure of angle A is equal to 3x minus 10 degrees. And measure of angle B is equal to the quantity of 2x plus 30 degrees. So, ang hinahanap po natin dito una is yung value ng x. Wherein, kapag sinubstitute natin dun sa mga terms or expression yan in terms of x, so makukuha po natin yung sukat ng mga angles, angle A and B. So, sulat natin as measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B is equal to 90 degrees. It's because angle A and angle B are complementary angles. And then, isubstitute natin yung mga given as 3x minus 10 for measure of angle A. And then, for B naman, 2x plus 30 equals 90 degrees. Next, 3x plus 2x is 5x. So, i-combine like terms po natin. And then, negative 10 plus 30 is positive 20 equals 90 degrees. Next, using addition property of equality, so we will add negative 20 to both sides. So, magiging 5x is equal to 90 minus 20 siya. So, 5x is equal to 70. And then, divide both sides by 5. So, the value for x is 14. So, 70 divided by 5 is 14. Now, substitute natin siya sa mga expression. So, for measure of angle A, for A naman, 3x minus 10. So, magiging 3 times 14 minus 10. So, 3 times 14 is 42 degrees. 42 minus 10 degrees. That is equal to 32. So, ibig sabihin, ang measure ng angle A is 32 degrees. Next, measure of angle B. 2x plus 30 degrees. So, 2 times 14 plus 30. So, 2 times 14 is 28 degrees plus 30 degrees. So, 28 plus 30 degrees is 58. So, the measure of angle B is equal to 58 degrees. Now, to check if the measure of angle A and measure of angle B are complementary, you just add 32 and 58 degrees, which will give us a sum of 90 degrees. So, for number 3 naman, okay, so, dito, naka in terms of x sila. Okay, so, What if hindi ganyan ang given? So, kamukha ng number 1. Like for example, so madali ang example na lang po. So, halimbawa, ang measure ng angle P ay 125 degrees. What will be the measure of angle Q? So, ang gagawin lang po natin, 180 degrees minus the measure of angle P, which is 125 degrees. So, 180 minus 125 is 55 degrees. So, kapag ganyan po yung given, mabilis lang siya. So, tandaan na yung supplementary angles, kailangan yung sum is 180 degrees. So, now, going back, so, dito tayo sa given natin, P is equal to the quantity of 4x minus 7 degrees. And then, for Q, the quantity of 5x plus 16 degrees is equal to, ayan. So, sulat natin as the measure of angle P plus the measure of angle Q is equal to 180 degrees. So, substitute natin ngayon dito sa P, 4x minus 7. Sa Q naman, 5x plus 16 is equal to 180 degrees. Now, 4x plus 5x is 9x. And then negative 7 plus 16, that is 9. So, we will add negative 9 to both sides. So, magiging 9x is equal to 180 minus 9. So, 9x is equal to 171. And then, dividing both sides by 9. So, the value of x is 19. So, para makuha ang sukat ng P, so, substitute lang po natin yung 19 sa 4x minus 7. So, magiging 4 times 19 minus 7 degrees. Next, 4 times 19 is 76 minus 7. So, that is 69 degrees. Okay, next. For measure of angle Q naman, so 5x plus 16. So, magiging 5 times 19 plus 16. So, 5 times 19 is 95 plus 16. So, the measure of angle Q now is 111 degrees. So, 69 degrees plus 111 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, ito pong ating given, tama po yan. It's because pinag-add natin yung dalawang sukat, 180 degrees ang lumitaw. So, for our last example, so meron po tayo ditong two intersecting lines. So, kailangan po nating makuha yung sukat ng angle X, angle Y, and angle Z. Okay. So, dun muna tayo sa angle Y. So, the measure of angle Y is equal to the measure of angle W. It's because they are vertical angles. So, ibig sabihin, kung ang sukat ng angle W is 108 degrees, the measure of angle Y is also 108 degrees. Next, dun tayo sa X. Okay. So, the measure of angle X plus the measure of angle W is equal to 180 degrees simply because they are supplementary. So, measure of angle X plus 108 degrees, yung sukat ng angle W. So, measure of angle X is equal to 180 degrees minus 108 degrees. So, applying addition property of equality. So, ayan. So, angle X is equal to 72 degrees. So, yan po yung sukat ng angle X. Now, what about the measure of angle Z? So, since angle X and angle Z are vertical angles, so the measure of angle X is equal to the measure of angle Z. So, measure of angle X is equal to measure of angle Z equals 72 degrees. So, label lang natin. So, yung X, 72 degrees. Yung Y naman is 108 degrees. And then, yung Z is 72 degrees. So, angle X and angle Z are vertical angles. Angle Y and angle W are vertical angles. So for the next video lesson, we will be discussing the angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. So it has something to do with pairs of angles pa rin. So connected pa rin po ang lesson natin ng week 2 tsaka week 3. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat.